It's time to get down to business on TK Business Live, brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association. Now, let's join Tara Dimmick, owner and publisher of TK Business Magazine, as we take a look into the business world of Topeka, Kansas.
Hi, and welcome to TK Business Live. I'm Tara Dimmick, and it is great to be with you this Sunday. We have Eugene Williams joining us here shortly. Eugene is a recent laureate of the Junior Achievement of Kansas Topeka Business Hall of Fame. He was named in 2016, but he's also the general manager of KTWU and really a good friend. And we're going to talk about all the things going on over at KTWU and some of the entrepreneurial ventures that he has been up to with KTWU. And then Melissa Buscher is going to be joining us. She's with Westridge Mall. We've talked to her recently, but I asked her to come in and have another follow-up to talk about harvesters as well as what's going on over at Westridge Mall. And I've been really excited to see all the community involvement that they have been able to participate in, and with their new ownership, how that has changed and transformed the Westridge Mall. So I'm excited to share that information as well. And then finally, Todd Averett's joining us again. Todd is with Leading People Partners. He's the president over there, and he does a lot of work in leadership and with helping a culture change in that culture change is tough. And so he's going to bring a quick tip for us at the end of the show on change and how to make culture change and leadership. Eugene Williams is joining me. He's the general manager of KTWU. Welcome.
Thank you, Tara.
Always great to have you. And, you know, we're going to talk about some of the shows that you've got going on, but let's talk about KTWU. Tell me about what is KTWU.
KTWU is the very first public broadcasting TV station to go on the air here in Kansas.
Wow.
This past October, which was October, I think it was like October 20th or 21st, 2015, we celebrated 50 years on the air here in Topeka. That's pretty good.
That's amazing. How long have you been with KTWU?
Oh gosh, you would ask that. This is August, and so I came in 1998 from Chicago. So that would make this is about 18 years at the end of this month.
And why? Why from Chicago? I didn't prep him for any of these questions.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, there are days when I still ask myself, why? Why so many things? No, it was an opportunity for me to do something that I had not done before, and that was to put a TV station on the air with digital. And it's kind of a crazy story, but I'll tell you, and I'll try to keep it really, really short. Throughout my whole career, I started when I was about 17 years old, and throughout my whole career, I dealt with engineers and I dealt with general managers and folks who would say, now, Gene, let me tell you when we made the transition from black and white to color. Now, Gene, let me tell you when we made the transition from videotape from film to videotape. I mean, I heard all those stories throughout my career. And then I just said, I want to be one of those people who can say, let me tell you when we made that transition from analog to digital. Sounds stupid, doesn't it?
No.
When I say it out loud, it's kind of scary. But yeah, that's it.
Well, we're glad you're here. And just to mention it, you were a laureate this year, too, for the Business Hall of Fame.
I'd actually forgotten about that.
Well, I remember you were on a cover of the issue at Spring. That's not that long ago.
No, it was back in March. I tell you, it's a great honor. I want to thank the folks at Junior Achievement for recognizing me, and for all those people who, for whatever reason, felt that I was that type of person who could be a part of such a great group of folks. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, it was well deserved, and I think your speech was phenomenal. I have this it's in my head what you said, but I think I wrote it down even on Facebook because it was so memorable. But now I'm gonna have to go look it up. Do you remember your last statement of that speech?
Well, what a lot of people remembered from that was what I told them was I said to them, I said that for me, it's real important that things that I do and the people that I work with are sexy.
Sexy, be sexy.
And that was the term that I used. And what I mean by that is it's not sexy in the traditional sense of sexy, but sexy in the sense of always do more than what is expected. Always do more than what's expected, because that is what gets you noticed. That is what gets you above the fray. And I think the essence of that, as I said in the speech, was you have to fight mediocrity with every fiber of your being.
That's amazing. It was phenomenal, and it is phenomenal right now. I need to write it and put it on my wall because I really love to be sexy. And ironically, just yesterday, I was in a meeting, and Matt Pavarnik said, "Be bold." So now we can be sexy and be bold.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, so being sexy over at KTWU. Tell me about Portrait
of a Landscape?
Yes.
That is one of our newest thing, and I have to tell you, this is truly, truly, truly sexy. We've got a great team of folks in our programming area who've been working on this, and in our production area, in our engineering area, and in our development area. And we started this thing maybe about 6 years ago, and then it just fell through for a number of different reasons internally at the station. And then we picked it up about 2 years ago and decided that we were going to do it. We found over the years, there was a piece that was done, I think it was back in the late 80s or something, on the Flint Hills. And every time we play that, people they just respond to it. We play it for pledge drives and things like that, and people really love it. And so we started talking, like I said, about 6 or 7 years ago about redoing that and kind of updating it. And so we finally got around to it, and we're working with a company out of Manhattan. We're kind of partnering with them on doing some of the production work and stuff. And when we started with a bold idea, a sexy idea. To cover all 4 seasons of the Flint Hills.
Oh, wow.
Okay? That was going to cost us way, way, way too much. And so what we did was we decided we were going to start off with one piece. And so we started shooting, I want to say back in January or February of this year. And so we've got a really nice piece that shows some great things about what happens in springtime on the Flint Hills. And so these guys, we work with them because we just couldn't send our folks out there to do some of the work that they could do. They basically camped out on the Flint Hills. They recorded all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, we've got it. Cloud cover, we got flowers blooming, you name it. It's in here. And so what we're doing is we're setting it to music, and it's just video and music. Very little narration, almost none. So when you watch this, it should just give you an idea of this unique thing that exists in Kansas and no place else. We will air this on the 21st.
Today.
Yeah, that's right. Today. Yeah, that's right. We'll air today. And hopefully people will watch it. We're going to have it on at 7 o'clock, and then we'll have it again on at 7:30, and then 8 o'clock. We want to play it back to back to back so that people can really get a feel for how it works.
Sounds like visual meditation.
Yeah. Well, these were some things that were done early on in this transition to digital. There were some places that they shot some things like over Alaska, over Oregon, different places like that, where these were just beautiful scenes that they did with helicopter shots and things like that. And so we've got drone shots in here. We got all kinds of stuff, and it's set to music, and it's just going to be beautiful.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay,
yeah, beautiful.
So let's talk about the show. I just aired August 18th.
Yeah, that's right. On Thursday.
Working Capital.
Working Capital.
So I've been loving this show. I think it's a phenomenal show. I think it's an important show. So tell us a little bit about what Working Capital is and where that came from and where it's going.
Well, you were kind of one of the folks instrumental in getting us interested in something like Working Capital, because we were talking with business people here in the community, and they said to us, no one's doing anything quite like that. And so we actually started working on kind of a regional show with a production company out of Kansas City. And then we started talking about how we might be able to take that national. And just in the midst of all those conversations, we said, you know what, we really do need to do something that's more local, something that's within the KTWU viewing area. And so we came up with this really great concept, this really great idea. And we have now been on the air for 6 months. And it's been great. It's been great. We've covered some really interesting things. We covered TK Magazine, which was really a lot of fun having you come on. You were on our very first show, and I really appreciate you for doing that, because there are a lot of people out there that are in business, and they want to know what other business leaders are doing, business owners are doing. But then there's that really unique group of folks out there, and you and I have talked about this before, entrepreneurs. There's that really unique group of folks out there that have this thing inside them where they want to start a business. They're just not sure how, and there's that little element of fear. And when you go through and you listen to some of the stories that we have on Working Capital, some of the people who have been running their businesses for years and years, or for that matter, the things that you guys write in TK Magazine, you begin to understand that it's never going to be easy. It's never, ever going to be real easy. But there's a part of you, if you're a true entrepreneur, where you know that you got to try it. You got to take that risk, and you got to almost put everything into it. You can't go into it, half-heartedly. You got to go into it with everything that you have. And that's what Working Capital was for us. I just jumped into it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it's a chance to be inspired.
Yeah, it really is. We've had some great people on the show. We've had some folks from the Topeka Chamber come on from Go Topeka specifically and talk about some of the programs and things that they do. In this early part of the season, what we've tried to do is we've tried to just put an expose out there on different types of businesses, some relatively small, some that are kind of large in scope, and then others that are just kind of growing, so that we can show the variations in the types of business that exist out there. In season 2, we're probably going to spend a little bit more time on showing people how to set up their business, how to get started, because we know there are a lot of folks who want to hear these inspirational stories, but they also want to know, so how do I do it? Yeah.
Right, and there's a lot to it.
Yeah,
at
there's
least
a lot to
doing
it.
it well.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
There's some of us like myself who I just jumped in and then I've just been kind of wading through it, and I think I'm finally to the place where I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. But it takes a while to figure out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong.
But you're one of those people who probably has never regretted it.
Oh, I've never regretted a moment of it.
Yeah.
It's been a blast. I wake up every morning excited about the adventure that's in front of me.
You know, I think about, and I use working capital as a really great example of starting a business, because that's exactly what it is. It took me about 3 or 4 months to sit down and actually write the business plan. And then it took me even longer to sell the idea, not just to folks external to the station, but folks internal to the station, because everyone's like, well, you know, we're already doing this and we're already doing this. Why in the world would I want to do any more? And so it really is starting a business. And what's crazy about this is that because I don't have time to do anything else, you know, during the day. So on the weekends is when I'm spending my time producing working capital. And it's just like a business. You don't get a chance to walk away from it because, you know, you want to go on vacation. You take it with you everywhere you go. You're constantly thinking about how you can make it better. Even today, I'm sitting here promoting it.
Right. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It never stops.
Okay, and you can actually go back and look at some of the past shows.
Yes.
All kind of shows with KTWU.
What you can do is, if you'd like to see some things on working capital or anything like Sunflower Journeys or one of our other shows that we have on the station, all you got to do is go to ktwu.org. Okay, that takes you to our website, and then you'll see on there our productions and stuff, and you can just go and click on those. It'll take you to a place where you can watch any one of the shows that we've done on working capital or some of the other shows that you might like.
That's great. Okay, so shows are not the only thing you do, and you've really looked at KTWU and said, okay, you know, you have to raise money. It's not like you're just going to do this and I don't know the money's coming.
That's right.
And so you, besides getting pledges and things like that, you have expanded KTWU to do all kinds of things. And one of those is working with nonprofits. So tell me about this. Yeah.
I've been kind of told that was one of the reasons why I was kind of named as a laureate. Because, you know, I am somewhat entrepreneurial in the way that I approach things. But yeah, I mean, we reached a point a few years ago, probably about 8 years ago now, in which our state funding basically went away. We started taking a look at our traditional sources for revenue and things like that. And they were somewhat stable, but they were not growing. And now as we take a look at a few of those things, they're actually, some of them are in decline. And so what you have to do is you have to figure out a way that you can find new revenue streams. And that's what we did. I sat down and I walked through about a year's worth of stuff with the staff, looking at different things that we might be able to do. And we decided that we're going to launch our own in-house kind of production agency and stuff like that. And so we launched it specifically to do work for nonprofit organizations. So if you're a nonprofit organization in Topeka or the surrounding area within the KTWU viewing area, we would love to have you on our client list. Our client list has grown tremendously over the last 2 years. We've been doing this now for about 3 years, and it has just grown tremendously. So, and I won't name some of the clients, but trust me, there's a lot of stuff that you're watching on television here in Topeka that was done by KTWU on behalf of some of the other nonprofit organizations.
Well, and this is a really important niche. You know, there's not a whole lot of agencies that really can help a small nonprofit and some of these sizes that you're addressing. You know, they might have a freelancer working for them or something like that, but they're really having to manage it, and yet they're a small nonprofit where you can come in and really assist in a way that they need the assistance, but it wouldn't even be attractive to a normal agency running a business.
Very true. What we try to do is we try to be your partner. And I say try to be. I mean, we want to be your partner. And so the way that it works for us is if you do a fundraising event every year, for instance, and in that fundraising event, there's a video that you show, or there is promotional stuff that you need to get out to other stations, or things like that. What we do is that we say, okay, is that going to occur? And we'll say, like this evening, if it's going to occur on August 21st, then we want to start working with you sometime in the spring to make sure that we can understand what it is that you plan on doing. And then from that point on, every year we'll call you and we'll say, hey, are you ready to start working on this again? Are you ready to do this? Once we figure out what your business is, and once we figure out what it is that your specific needs are, we try to make that happen for you. Because for nonprofits, unfortunately, sometimes there is, at the very least, moderate turnover. Sometimes it can be extreme, meaning that the person that you started with in 2016 might not be the same person in marketing that you're going to have in 2017. So you want to have a company out there who understands what it is that you need. So when that new person comes on board, we're calling them and saying, well, last year we did this, and this is the way that we did it. And it helps to keep you at least a little bit on track, because in a day's time, there's so many things that hit your plate. There's so many things that competes for your time until the 21st all of a sudden shows up and you're like, oh, gosh, we forgot to do this. And this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Yeah, it's that type of thing.
Right. Taking care of them and making sure they know. And because you are a nonprofit.
We're a nonprofit, and so we know exactly how it works. We know how it operates. There's so many things that we get taxed with in doing. And it's real easy to kind of not necessarily lose track, but to lose focus sometimes. Because there are days in a nonprofit's operation when you're going along doing all the things that you think you should be doing and the things that you could be doing, and then there is a change at the federal level, or there's a change at the state level, or one of your clients that normally, or one of your contributors, something happens. And then all of a sudden you got to change everything that's kind of in the hopper, and then you got to start dealing with that. Those are things that nonprofits deal with pretty much on a day-to-day basis, and they just don't have the staff a lot of times to handle 25, 30 things all happening in the same hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great entrepreneurial venture. So I'm excited to see as it continues to grow and what you guys will do with that. And I think what's great is that you have hopefully all these wonderful students that are coming from Washburn that could potentially help you, and they're benefiting from getting some agency work. Yeah.
We work with a number of students. I mean, we've got some really great interns and things that come to us. What's kind of funny is that over the last few years, though, we get them in and we get them trained and stuff, and then
they leave.
Yeah. Like most children, they grow up and they leave home, or at least you hope.
Right, you want them to, but you'd like them to stay.
Yeah, you'd like for them to stay, if in fact they can be productive. But we've got a number of our interns who have kind of come through the process and stuff with us, and they just do great work with us. For working capital, I had 2 interns that work with me, and one of them now works for the Junior Golf Association. She had to leave like 3 months early after she had been with me for about almost a year. And so she got a job with them. I was so happy for her. And she was like, I would have never gotten this if it hadn't been for you guys. My other person who was doing a lot of my research was actually from China. And so she graduated. And so she had to go back to China.
Oh.
So I mean, we're pretty entrepreneurial in a lot of ways.
That's excellent. Well, Gene, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I hope you plan to watch tonight, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
And also go back and check out the most recent Working Capital and check it out. It's the third Thursday of each month. Yeah. And you have like the last one of the first series, right? Coming up in September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the second. So I'm looking forward to it, and go back and check KTWU.org.
KTWU.org. You can watch all of our shows, any of our shows, and make comments, send us notes, let us know. And if you've got somebody out there who has a unique business or management type of strategy, give us a call. We'd love to be able to talk with them.
Awesome. Thanks so much. That was Eugene Williams, General Manager of KTWU.
My name is Jennifer Kermis, Vice President of Business Development with the Jura Credit Union.
TIBA is advice and support. TIBA is information and education. TIBA is a voice for small businesses.
One of the best things about it is that everyone's very open there. Everyone collaborates. Everyone talks about best practices of, well, this is how we were able to handle this situation. This may be able to help you down the road. Or this is the marketing strategy that we took on this deal versus, have you ever considered adding this product line to your business?
The Topeka Independent Business Association is strong because of its members. Become a member today by visiting TopekaTIBA.org.
I have Melissa Buscher with me. She is with Westridge Mall. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so back to school is fully in. Kids are back to school. So how was the back to school shopping? How was that time?
It was fun. It was exciting. We had some events leading up to it the first couple weekends. We had a successful back to school fashion show with all the kiddos, so that was always fun to see. And got some of the community out there to do some sign-up booths and get kids involved in, area activities. So that was exciting.
And then recently you did the Harvester. Last time you were on, we talked about Harvesters and how you were working with them as Westridge Mall. How did that event go?
Oh, it was super fun. We had Bartlett and West was the first corporate sponsor, so they brought all their employees out and did a team building lunch day, and then Hy-Vee partnered on their sponsorship with it. So we jumped in and helped, and we bagged 1,300 lunches that day.
Wow.
And got our team involved as well. So it was just a really fun event and got the awareness out, and we're booking more sponsors. This is going to be a monthly initiative, so we're excited.
That's cool. I love that you guys are getting involved in the community. It gets me excited because I think that was a need that the community needed, and also that was missing from Westridge Mall and from that area. So it's awesome to see how you guys are doing those things. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, what's new? What should we be looking for over at Westridge Mall?
So just opening now is the Spirit of Halloween store. So you'll have to go check it out. It's on upper level up by the furniture mall.
It doesn't seem like it could be Halloween, but it is around the corner.
I know. Fall is in gear, so we're excited. Yeah, they do a really good job. They put some pretty cool presentations. This year is the Haunted Hotel theme, so you'll have to go check it out.
Very cool. Very cool. What else is going on?
So we have our last story time, and I think the last time I was here, we talked a little bit about Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So if you don't know what it is, you need to go out there and log on online. So her foundation provides books throughout different counties, but you have to get your county registered for it. So if you go in and try to log on for your child to receive books, right now, if you live in Shawnee County, we're not set up, so your kids cannot receive that benefit. However, there's a lot of counties in Kansas that have that, and we've spent the summer doing these summer reading series out at the mall and promoting this Text to Give with United Way, because all the funds that they've been working towards go to all the postage for that, so they can sustain this for a 10-year project here in this county. So
I know just enough about this to probably screw it up, but the kid gets a book from age like 0 to 5 every single month, right?
That's absolutely, how it works. In the mail. Mm-hmm.
And so the goal is to really increase the reading of youth, because there's plenty of youth, and there's a lot of youth in Shawnee County who do not even have a book in their household. Absolutely. And this gets a book into their hands every single month. It's a really great initiative.
We got all of our tenants in the mall involved as far as sponsoring a child, and then several of the stores and their employees brought in books for kids to use. So every single reading series we've done, a child leaves our mall with a free book to go home with, and we've had different readers throughout the series to read the books. So our last one is on the 27th.
So coming up right away.
I know. I think it's going to be a big one because we've promoted it through the schools for, families to bring their kids out and participate. And we've also done some arts and craft activities and coloring for these. So it's really fun for the kids and the whole family to come out and do this. And it's a free event here in the community. So
that's great. All right. What else? Anything else that we should know about Westridge Mall and the things happening over there?
We've been doing the Arrive in Style for the whole last month with back to school. We did the Stuff the Bus. We did the fashion show. We've got the new Spirit of Halloween store opening. I think next month we may be announcing some more openings. So there's some good stuff coming up for holiday down the road.
There is. You really need to go check out Westridge Mall. They have just grown, and they've got such great places. I mean, the addition of, I know it's been a while, but the addition of Kirkland's, the addition of the pizza, oh my gosh, the
Pizza Pub. Yes.
Somebody posted the Pizza Pub, a picture of it the other day, and I was like, oh, I have to get down there. because it's nice to have it really close.
Well, get out and watch the rest of the baseball games for the rest of the season. They've got all the great TVs in there.
Right. So it's a great place for you to bring your spouse while you go shopping too.
Absolutely.
Drop him off there.
Absolutely.
So that you can go around the mall. That's great. Melissa, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
That was Melissa Buscher with Westridge Mall. Todd Averett, owner of Leading People Partners, an expert in leadership, strategy, change, and talent management, is joining me with a quick tip for you and your business.
Hi there. One of the most important things that you can do as a business owner or a business leader to drive the culture that you want is to personally model through your behavior the values that are important to your culture. Here's one simple way of thinking about that. Get out a piece of paper and identify what are those things that you must say no to if you want to demonstrate your values. And similarly, write down a list of those things that you must absolutely say yes to demonstrate those values. Taking a look at your list, do what you can to implement something from that list every day.
That was Todd Averett, owner of Leading People Partners, an expert in leadership, strategy, change, and talent management. Thanks so much to my guest, Eugene Williams over at KTWU, Melissa Buscher with Westridge Mall, and Todd Averett with Leading People Partners. And thanks to our sponsor, the Topeka Independent Business Association. You can learn more about them at topekatiba.org. That's topekatiba.org. They're a great organization, especially if you're a small business or an entrepreneur, to get to know other small business owners and other entrepreneurs and learn from each other, work together, find partnerships. That's what I did with my business, and it's been it was a great learning lesson. It was a great networking opportunity, and it's something I continue to participate in. Again, their website is topekatiba.org, and go check out our website, tkmagazine.com. But all the business news that's coming in, you can send us your business news so that we can share it out. We also have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and a LinkedIn page where you can get more information about what's happening in our business community, as well as expert advice. I hope you have a fabulous week. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for joining Tara and her guests on TK Business Live. Join us again next Sunday at 11:30 to hear more from our community business leaders, entrepreneurs, and people making a difference in the landscape of how business is progressively moving forward in Topeka. TK Business Live is brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association.